Hello, everybody. Welcome back to The Lost Files. Today we're talking about Walt's wisdom and his warning. Walt's Wisdom was a 2008 video game developed using Adobe Flash and ran using the Flash player. The game was meant to advertise the first season of the television show known as Breaking Bad. In this game, it is formatted in the style of an interactive movie, and the player has to insert various pieces of personal information about themselves to get a customized experience where the series' main character, Walter Hardwell White Sr., speaks to them directly. The game is set during the very end of the first episode, in where Mr. White has crashed his van into a ditch and believes the police are coming for him, and so he prepares to face off against who he believes to be law enforcement. Now, a sequel was developed in the following year, 2009, meant to advertise the second season of Breaking Bad. This was called Walt's Warning. In this game, you have to also put in more personal information about yourself to get another piece of customized experience, as it is also formatted in the same way of being an interactive movie, using real footage and videos to display the story. Instead of being set in one specific episode, it is set in a general time period, as we are unaware exactly which episode it is set in, as the actual setting is unknown episode-wise. Now, in the second game, you get captured by Walt after you discover his van. He explains to you why he is cooking methamphetamine and proceeds to knock you out in one or two ways, depending on where you look. If you look to the right, he will use a prop gun from the school he formerly worked at as a chemistry teacher to hit you in the head. If you look to the machines on the left, which he uses to create methamphetamine, then he will use a glass to get a bunch of chemicals and put it up to your face, these chemicals causing you to knock out. Then you will wake up in the desert with there being a sign saying, "You can't hide in whatever city you decided to place down," ending the game. Now, both of these games became immediately lost and unplayable in December 2020 when the Flash player was permanently discontinued. These games can no longer be played in any sort of capacity. Playthroughs of the game still exist to this day online, as people recorded themselves going through these games back when they were still operational in the late 2000s, so we know how the game actually goes in its full entirety. Now, the .swf file for Walt's Warning, the sequel, was found saved on the Wayback Machine, but it did not play. But even though we found its .swf file, it did not contain the full game at all, and we cannot play the game either, even with the .swf file. The game is still completely unplayable, even though we have it, as it does not have the game itself in it. And these games were both, and the second game actually won an award alongside that after its initial release. It got an award due to its outstanding quality. And as we know, there are no other existing lost Breaking Bad games. Though there is a Breaking Bad game developed for mobile, it is not lost, and it is not lost. But these two games are lost due to Flash being discontinued, as the use of the Flash began to diminish throughout the later half of the 2010s, and diminished to the point where the company that owns Flash discontinued Flash altogether. So that's all I have to say for today's episode. This has been The Lost Files, where we spoke about Walter White's wisdom and Walter White's warning. Goodbye.